the 2022 Oaks Tornadoes football team. Excited to get the season kicked off. Wanted to just give you some information, some rules, regulations, schedules, things like that. So I'm going to run through a quick PowerPoint about the 22 football season. Here's our 2022 varsity football schedule, also our JV football schedule. I do want to make one note. Friday, September 9th, it is our fourth game. We play Park River. That game will take place at Central Cass. Park River versus Oaks at Central Cass. Our coaching staff for the 2022 football season remains the same as it was the past 2 years. I'm the head coach, varsity offensive coordinator. Nolan Peterson will be helping coach the defensive side of the ball. Also coach the O-line and linebackers. Jeff Miller, our special teams coordinator, will be in charge of the JV offense and will coach running backs, tight ends, and defensive line. Coach Sean Karajan will be coaching our wide receivers and defensive backs, and will be in charge of the the JV special teams. Coach Lynch and Coach Schneider are on for another year as our junior high coaches, so we're excited to have them on staff too. My contact information is seen here. Easiest way to get a hold of me is to call me, text me, or email me, and all three of those things are there. I have my cell phone with me pretty much all the time, so text message or an email I'll get pretty much right away. Some general information. I've been saying this for years, but football's a team game. It takes individual sacrifices and commitment to better the team. So we're an all-in, we before me attitude. Team is always first. All the decisions we make are for the betterment of the team. Sometimes might not be the best thing for an individual, but for the overall team, that decision will be made to better the team. Players and parents, remember that you are under the critical eye of the community, so control your image, be first class in everything you do. That includes social media. Be careful what you're liking, what you're tagging yourself to, those thoughts and ideas and things on social media. So just be aware of that. Attitude and effort, preparation, body language, and focus. 5 big areas for our program. Those are the things that coaching staffs cannot control. The players have to take ownership of those areas: their attitude, their effort, their preparation, their body language, and their focus. Mental weakness blames, while mental toughness focuses on how we can get better. So always having that focus on what to do to get better. There's a quote up there at the top of the page there that I've really latched on to the last few years by Coach Don Meyer. If he's got it, I'll find it. That's my job, and then I'll send him home, and you can give him a hug, tell him good job, and that you love him. That's your job. So that's the parent's job and the coach's job. Those lines can't be blurred. Playing time is earned in practice. It's determined by the coaching staff. Like I have always said, you're invited to come and strictly watch practice. You can, park outside the practice field and watch. You can stand on the sideline and watch. You cannot interact with the coaching staff or the players on the team during practice. I will never discuss another player with you. I will only discuss your player. So please don't put me in a situation or ask me to do something like that. Play calling, it's determined by the coaches. A lot of preparation and scouting is put into that by our whole staff, and those are not discussions that we will have with you as parents. Remember that in the grand scheme of things, if you watch the games, you're seeing about 15% of the time that is spent with players and coaches. So the other 85% of the time is when all of those discussions and those decisions are being made. Please follow the line of communication. If your player has an issue or a problem, please have your player directly contact their coach, position coach, or head coach. And then if there's a problem, the player can and parent can talk to the coach. And then if it needs to go up any farther, we can start including the athletic director and the administration. Practices and lifting during the football season, there is no excuse for an unexcused absence. All it takes is a quick text message or email or phone call to tell me, hey, something came up and I can't make it to practice. That's enough to say that you are excused from practice. The unexcused thing is I show up for practice at 4 o'clock and so is not there and nobody knows why. That's unexcused. So these are the punishments for that. If a player misses a practice for a haircut, that's probably not going to go over real well, and they might miss playing time because of that. Those are some things that we have to make sure that we're taking care of on your own time and not the team's time. Those decisions have to be made for the team. Am I doing the best thing to get better for the team? Some miscellaneous information here. Physicals must be completed by Thursday, August 4th. To practice on Thursday, August 4th, I must have a physical turned in to the office or to me that morning. Impact testing. Mrs. Paul, our athletic director, will be available in the library on August 4th and on August 8th from 10 to 11:30 for 7th graders, 11th graders, and 9th graders, 7, 9, and 11th graders. All those athletes need to complete the impact testing. Shouldn't take more than a half an hour, and that can get done. Student athlete handbook will have to be filled out, signed by both player and parent. Must read those and follow those rules and regulations. Just a note to always be checking your helmet to make sure that that helmet is still fitting, that all of the screws and connections and all of that stuff is staying tight. Just to always make sure that that helmet is fitting as good as we can make it fit. Want to really watch your hydration and food intake. It's very important that our athletes are getting sleep and eating right once the season starts. Shoes for indoor practice must all of our athletes must have shoes for indoor practice. That does not mean dudes. It means basketball shoes, running shoes, something that they can perform on a gym floor just like they would on the turf outside on the grass. So shoes for indoor practice are a must. Equipment is checked out to you for the season. Players are responsible for all of it. Anything that is lost, stolen, damaged beyond what would happen in a game will be responsible. The family, the player will be responsible for the cost of that item. Please keep coaching staff aware of all injuries. The more we know about them, the better. We can get a hold of our athletic trainers, Nikki and Bobby Conodal, and we can take care of most things before they become too serious. Eligibility, like I said, check your handbook. Make sure we understand eligibility rules and regulations. Curfew. Again, there's some things in the handbook about that. There will be no football curfew. You are responsible for yourself and making sure that you're getting the amount of rest you need to get to perform as good as you can for your team, and you need to follow your parents' rules on curfew. For riding home from the games, must fill out an athletic department sign-out sheet to be released from the bus. Those have to be filled out for every occurrence. If you want to fill them out and bring them to me before the game, that's fine. Or after the game, I will have some on the bus that can be signed out for the player. Again, some miscellaneous information. Care on the jerseys White jerseys are for away games, black jerseys for home games. Just a little note here: when you wash the jerseys, don't wash them on hot, and don't put them in the dryer. Hang them to dry. It'll save on the jersey's lifespan a little bit. Just hopefully we don't have to deal with this, but if we would have a player that requires a cast or a brace, we may ask you to contact the doctor for a note on those so the player can keep playing. Really important that we wash our equipment on a regular basis. Out of season sports, unfortunately, sometimes our players they want to go shoot baskets or play volleyball or play baseball during the football season, and those players are assuming their own risk, and they are in no control of it by the football coach. So remember how many teammates and coaches you have that are depending on you. Make sure that we're making those all-in decisions for your football brothers and coaches. Please like the Oaks Tornadoes Facebook page. If you have questions, again, you can contact me. My contact information is right there. I'm sending this player-parent meeting out along with the practice schedule. The practice schedule will be along with this, so in the same post on social media, you should see the practice schedule. Super excited to get the 2022 football season kicked off here. Really excited about what our football team has in front of them. Thanks.